I'm sorry for all of this. I'm surrendering through a sheriff friend in a few moments. Thanks for all the good times and laughs. You've all been so amazing. Thank you all for everything. A lot of people still have a hard time figuring out the motive on this. We don't know what happened. We don't know why he did this. Okay, the act speaks for itself. There's a concept called re ipsa loquitur. We see it mostly in negligence cases, where it's the idea that the thing speaks for itself.
By the way, it's bad that we have people that are U.S. citizens that feel that way. You can't revoke their need a visa, they don't have a visa. But you're a foreigner. Why would we want to allow it to the United States, someone who's in favor of murder?
New messages now leaked from Discord that implicate the Charlie Kirk assassin. All of this coming from KenKlippenstein.com, and he is writing over on Substack. And you can see lots of attention coming around this article because we've got some new photographs of the shooter, allegedly, and Discord messages. We've already seen the text messages that the government has officially released that seem very weird and like they're missing stuff. But we also have new Discord messages that also seem to have a confession inside. So here's what we've got. This guy, Ken Klippenstein, is reporting. He says, I obtained this and other Discord chats. I've decided to publish these things because the legacy news media won't do it, along with new information I've learned about Robinson from the people who knew him best. He said this on Discord. Hey guys, I have bad news for you all. It was me at UVU yesterday. Thus, Tyler Robinson told his friends on Discord, seemingly apologizing for murdering Charlie Kirk. He said, I'm sorry for all of this. Here are the messages. September 10th, this one we've got 3:17 p.m. Somebody drops in the chat, Charlie Kirk got shot. His name is redacted. You can see blacked out. He's dead. 3:44. Someone else says, I just saw the video. Holy, rest in peace, I guess. Bro didn't deserve to go out like that. Sad. Yeah, definitely didn't. Now, Zealous Monkey, who apparently is the shooter, said, hey guys, at 8:57 on 9/11. Okay, so we fast forward quite a bit. And this looks like it's continuous. So we've got, like, we see this break here, like a page break, and we don't use Discord a lot because they banned us. They threw us off after January 6th. They said, we're harmful and dangerous. We didn't shoot anybody in the neck. But hey guys, I have bad news for you all. It was me at UVU yesterday. I'm sorry for all of this at 8:57, and Trump's going to make the announcement the next day that they've got him, so he's about to turn himself in. I'm sorry for all of this. I'm surrendering through a sheriff friend in a few moments. Thanks for all the good times and laughs. You've all been so amazing. Thank you all for everything. Right now we're asking, okay, thank you for what? Did they know about this, or is this just like I'm going away forever? Usernames are redacted, but Ken reports that Tyler Robinson is the Zealous Monkey. Got it. Now, Trump and company said that he was a left-winger, and he says the federal conclusion is going to call him an NVE, a nihilist, violent extremist, whatever. And so, you know, there's all these different groups, MVEs, domestic VEs, religiously motivated RMVEs. Remember the Biden administration and the FBI created all of those? He notes the country's practically ready to go to war if we're not already in one. I mean, we had one of our top guys shot and killed. So I think we hope that we're not at war. We would prefer not to be in a state of war. But if the other side is killing our people, maybe they are in a state of war. And if they're declaring war on us, it's appropriate to respond to the reality of reality. It's been so terrible, and seeing it from the inside, the childhood friend said, is so frustrating. He's been Robinson's friend since middle school. He asked not to be named for fear of threats, and he provided me with the above non-public photo of Robinson on a camping trip, one of his favorite activities, to corroborate their relationship. Okay, so friend says, yep, that's me. That's the shooter. We're going camping. He said, I think the main thing that's caused so much confusion is that he was always generally apolitical for the most part. That's the big thing. He just never really talked about politics, which is why it's so frustrating. Now, the picture bears little resemblance to the media version. Robinson, although quiet, was well-liked. The friend group who he interacted with on Discord was far from the kind of militia camp or Antifa bunker that it's been portrayed as. They're talking about video games. Now, yesterday, Kash Patel said that he was a left-winger. And, you know, a lot of people still have a hard time figuring out the motive on this. We don't know what happened. We don't know why he did this. Okay, the act speaks for itself. There's a concept called re ipsa loquitur. We see it mostly in negligence cases, where it's the idea that the thing speaks for itself. Are you negligent if you're running a factory and a refrigerator falls on your employee's head and kills them? Now, I don't even think Tyler knew how to answer that question. And here's some more of the messages. Here they're talking about Helldivers, which is the video game, right? One step closer to finding the dwarves. Hey, fascist, catch. They say that that was widely reported to mean that he's a left-winger, but Ken, who I think is of the left, says that this was just a video game. And that's the same thing that we hear all the time. Like, oh, I hope he isn't killed, you know, in Minecraft. Is that what everybody says? And you're like, oh, so you're endorsing murder. No, I'm talking about in video games. So it's just an internet thing. Now, private Discord messages also shared with him say that Robinson wasn't some kind of political martyr, saying he talked about Biden and Trump. The Trump post was a passing reference to impeachment. This is back in 2000. 2019, so old messages. An impeachment inquiry has been placed against Donald Trump. He could get booted out if they find he committed the crap he's accused of. Yeah, and it was all a made-up joke. Another one on the 20th, so 11/3, like election night, the next day. Who is winning the election? You would know, somebody says to Zealous Monkey. Zealous says Biden is in the lead in the electoral counts vote-wise, but there are still some swing states that haven't finished voting. And Raw votes Donald is in the lead by a little over 1 million. That's on 11/3. Who is going to win? I'm not sure. Trump was going to win until they rigged it late at night. Not until pretty late when we'll know. Now, the childhood friend was a member of multiple Discord chats, and he said Tyler was quiet and really smart. Here's some more messages. On 9/12/25, 1:58, 2 days after Charlie was killed. A message from somebody anonymous. Hey everyone, if you have not seen the news yet, Tyler post above it is true. He was taken into custody earlier this day for the shooting of Charlie Kirk. Regardless of the horrible actions that took place, we must take this moment to remember that God is a living and loving God who loves all his children. God calls sinners to be his saints, and I ask that you all take a moment, quiet moment, to pray for Tyler and his repentance. When Charlie Kirk's politics were not acceptable to some, I ask that we all say a prayer for him and his family during these confusing times. Love you all. God bless. Here's one from a month ago from Bed Bug Inspector. I'm going to eep pretty soon. Very eepy. I am very ill. Another John Arbuckle appears. It says gullible on the ceiling. Don't look up. Spring in New Hampshire is another photo. Zealous Monkey sharing spring in southern Utah and talking about construction and I know the feeling. Wall mounts. So a bunch of messages in there. Of course, most of it not relevant to anything, but okay. The federal government, the Washington crowd, and corporate media are seeing this in corporate terms because he shot Charlie in the neck. I don't know why that's so complicated, but a lot of people are trying to find other, oh, look, they talked about concrete and other things. So I guess his argument is that he's not as bad as they say they are. All right, so those are the messages, courtesy of Ken Klippenstein. Now, meanwhile, the trans are just in love with Charlie's death. This psycho person, a U.S. Olympian called Chelsea Wolfe, has found it fitting to tell other people to go suck a sawn-off shotgun. What a nice person. Wow. So Team USA has distanced itself from the first openly transgender Olympian over vile posts celebrating the assassination of Charlie. Her name is Chelsea Wolfe, who's now asked about transgender shooters. We did it, said this dude. Wolfe wrote in an Instagram story sharing a report. We did it. What a psycho. Says being a Nazi is completely optional. The trans athlete said. He didn't have to do all that, but he did. Now he's dead, she said. Now don't live your life in a way that the world is better following your death. And so here's this dude doing, backflips on BMX, beating the crap out of women. This is what this person said. Insane, right? You're a Nazi. We kill Nazis. That Connor Wolf's response is saying no males and females. Anyways, it's sick stuff from really twisted people. Just looking at somebody, I think you can have a sense of revulsion, right? As I do now looking at this image. I'll get it off the screen. Now, Marco Rubio is saying, we've got these Olympians who apparently love murder, and I don't know why they're Olympians or what they're even doing. We have transgender Olympians beating the hell out of women. All right, so here is Rubio saying, visas need to be revoked for all of these people, and they're going to do that aggressively.
Well, I think about Charlie Kirk. If you're a foreigner and you're out just celebrating the assassination of someone who was speaking somewhere, I mean, we don't want you in the country. Why would we want to give a visa to someone who thinks it's good that someone was murdered in the public square? It's just common sense. We revoke visas of people. I don't know, we revoke visas of people that are inside the country. We're most certainly been denying visas. I mean, think about it. I want everybody to think about this for a moment. If you're out there celebrating the assassination in cold blood of someone, then you want to come in. Why would we want anything like that in our country as a tourist, as anything? We don't want to live here. We got to go a process and all these, but I'm sure there'll be something to revoke. There's no shortage of idiots around the world that decide it's a great idea to murder someone. We want people like that in our country. By the way, it's bad that we have people that are U.S. citizens that feel that way. You can't revoke their visas, they don't have a visa. But you're a foreigner. Why would we want to allow it to the United States, someone who's in favor of murder? We don't want pro-murder people in America.
We don't want them here, and we don't need them here, so they're going to be gone. Now, we're going to learn more, I'm sure, about these messages because we'd like to see them from the source. We'd like to see them from the government getting subpoenas issued and recovering the messages so that we can get to the bottom of it. But we now know that there will be another hearing. They're going to have a full committee hearing October 8th, and Comer has come out on the Oversight Committee, and he has asked for Discord, Steam, the video game company, Twitch, and Reddit to come in and testify in front of Congress. He says, the politically motivated assassination of Charlie Kirk claimed the life of a husband, father, and American patriot. In the wake of this tragedy and amid other acts of politically motivated violence, Congress has a duty to oversee the online platforms that radicals have used to advance political violence. And to prevent more of this, all these four companies should come in and explain what actions they'll take to ensure their platforms are not exploited for nefarious purposes. purposes. Yeah, and a lot of individuals on Twitch, and we talked about Destiny, I think, earlier this week. Apparently, he's already been banned off Twitch for a long time, which is kind of what I thought, because he was also on YouTube. But YouTube is not being brought to this, so I don't know if they're going to get questions about what they're saying about, endorsing basically murder and saying that there will be more of it until Trump is not the president or whatever's coming out of their mouths. But him, Hassan, and others may get some airtime in this conversation in front of Congress coming up soon.